It is Sunday, and you know what that means. Time for Browns football, fantasy football, and the ultimate betting ticket in the parlay party. Browns against the world. That's what we're going to need today. You've seen all the stats. Haven't won in Pittsburgh in this long and that. We're calling this the Pittsburgh Miracle. Let's get to the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara, the sickest Cleveland Browns podcast.
Chubb runs, he's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There goes Chubb, he's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Chubba Lubba Hub.
It's gonna be sick.
Welcome, everybody. Yes, it is Sunday. The Browns are back from London after letting another game slip away. Now sitting at 1-4. But the crazy thing is, if you can pull off this upset in Pittsburgh today, you still got a season in front of you with how the schedule eases up. You still do. You can still salvage this season, which seems like such a catastrophe. You can do it. What you can also do is click subscribe, notifications on, share the channel. I love it when we get people in the chat talking fantasy football, talking Browns, talking best bets, questions, talking whatever. Jump in the chat, share the channel. That always helps. If you see the hype button, click the hype button, but like, subscribe, notifications on. Let's go and do this thing today. In a few minutes' time, about 10 minutes or so, my buddy from ESPN Radio 97.3, Josh Hennig, is going to stop by to help us with talk out some of these fantasy football questions with the injuries that never seem to stop. As well, the parlay party, get the streamers out, put the hats on, try to build the ultimate betting ticket for Sunday. Now, we got one game going on currently. It is the Broncos and Jets in London. Kind of forgot about this one. Glad I set my fantasy lines beforehand. That's why you always got to with these weird international games if one slips by you. Jets currently up 6-3 in the first quarter. I need some big games from Cortland Sutton, little J.K. Dobbins, one of my leagues. Wouldn't mind that. Grant's in the chat. How you doing, buddy? He said, what's Grant say? Who's ready to watch both teams throw passes under 5 yards? Woo! Let's go, kids. Who's ready for dink and dunk football? Grant, that's a great point. I was going to bring that up. Aaron Rodgers' quick release. Like the Steelers are doing well record-wise. This is not a scary team if you can put up points, okay? Aaron Rodgers is one of the best when it comes to hard counts drawing teams offside. That spooks me a bit when it comes to Myles Garrett because he always seems to jump offside, right? But you can get to him. But you have to be aware because what the Steelers do well and what the Browns do not is give their quarterback a quick out. Aaron Rodgers, go out of his hand. That's how you divert problems from troublesome offensive lines, right? Get the ball out quick. Quick slant in space. That's what Aaron Rodgers has been doing and what they've been doing so well. So you got to have that front four be as effective as ever. We're seeing the new corner coming in. Greg Newsome out, right? Okay, new guy. What do you got? Because the last couple of years, he hasn't been doing as well as he did as a rookie or as the first couple of years in Jacksonville. So we'll see. We'll see. We've seen these stupid stats, which are driving me insane all year, right? All week. Browns, for this, haven't won a regular season game since Tim Couch in 2003. Why do they not bring up enough that we beat their ass in Pittsburgh? I don't care if it was during the pandemic or not. Baker Mayfield marched in, whooped your butt, and sent Ben Roethlisberger to the bench crying. I posted on my Instagram at AndyMC Sports. Follow along there too. Get your questions, comments in on X at SickPodBrowns at AndyMC81. Fantasy football questions, use hashtag AskAndy. Get him in the chat. Get him on X. I posted in my story. I just love when they pop up once in a while, and it's the close-up of a tear running down Ben Roethlisberger's face after his ass was retired after tormenting the Browns for so many years. That happened too. So everyone, you haven't won this and that in the regular season. Okay. But we did eliminate you from the playoffs. You haven't done squat. And the Steelers are paper tigers this year. Some not so fun stats. The Browns, 14 different starting quarterbacks since Tim Couch's win, right? Yes, 21 straight losses in Acrisure Stadium before it was Heinz Field. 2 rookies. Colt McCoy in 2010. Anyone want to guess the extra one? Grant, you got to guess for the other rookie QB that went and lost for the Browns since that 2003. McCoy lost 28-10 in 2010. The answer, the other Deshaun. The Deshaun, if we would have got at the start, Watson, would have been a better story. No, remember, we got Deshaun Kaiser. Remember Deshaun Kaiser? He lost 28-24. Off the bye, Steelers are 14-1, facing a rookie. We know the odds are stacked against us. What's Grant saying? He can stop the run better than stop the air attack. Yes. Grant, what's the new guy's name? I'm drawing a blank. Hold on. I got this. What is it? Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell. That's the guy's name. Yes. Better run stopper. And Jim Schwartz saying, Browns defensive coordinator, better scheme fit the more man than he had in Jacksonville. So fair enough. You know, controllable contract. Number 2, Newsom wasn't coming back. And of course, Andrew Berry. He got that coveted 5th round pick. Boy, can't wait for another unsuccessful special teams player to come out of that. No one loves mid-round picks more than that Browns front office. They just cannot get enough. 5th round pick? You got that one with the Joe Flacco trade. Wild. Absolutely wild. So we know, like I said, we know all the stats there. Aaron Rodgers, give him credit, looking good. Myles Garrett versus TJ Watt. And the insecurity I find hilarious with the Steelers. Apparently, ESPN Cleveland was reporting that all the games in their in-stadium program always, because they're so insecure, compare TJ Watt to Myles Garrett. Well, TJ Watt did. Remember TJ Watt bitching and moaning that Myles Garrett won the Defensive Player of the Year? Myles took the high road, which I think was phenomenal. Garrett said he has no problem with Watt, even though Watt's a little crybaby. He says, I mean, it's a hell of an honor and a privilege to be able to play this game at this level, especially at the level in which we do. So I have nothing but respect for the way he does things. That's Myles on TJ Watt. Class act. To the point, though. The majority, now a little bit different recently, but the majority has been TJ Watt has played better than Myles Garrett when they're head-to-head. So we take a look. Watt has 111 sacks in 125 games. Garrett, 106.5 sacks in 122. Steelers are 8-3-1 when Garrett and Watt play in the same game. Watt's 14 games versus the Browns, 17 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 interception, and a touchdown. Garrett's 14 games against the Steelers, 13 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles. Well, time to get a couple more, Miles. Okay? But really, it doesn't matter with how good that front four. I don't care if it's Malik Collins, Mason Graham, Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, Myles Garrett, whoever else. Just sack his ass. Get him. Come on. It's almost Halloween, Miles. Get the graveyard ready for Aaron Rodgers, please. Grant saying Pittsburgh fans think more about Miles than Michigan fans think about the Buckeye. Yeah, like Myles Garrett lives rent-free in Squealer fans' heads. They're so insecure, right? They are. But Myles has to be effective in big games, and he has been recently, but this is a big game. Remember, if somehow, and I quite honestly am not quite sure how you do it with this team finding it impossible to reach 20 points, which they haven't done since last November, guys, okay? Hope is not a strategy. I can hope all I want. I got to see it. We haven't seen them reach 20 points since last November. Wild. So can they do it? We know the strategy. They can win. But the special teams has to show up, not allow huge returns like we saw last week when they got unspecial again. The defense has to ball out, and you got to keep them under 20 points. This is all possible. But the question to me, can Kevin Stefanski call a proper game plan after his implosion a week ago in London? You got to let Gabriel cook a bit, man. You got him in there. See what he can do. If you're dinking and dunking, that Steeler line is just going to pin their ears back and go and crowd the box. You got to get a couple deep passes. How about we open up Isaiah Bond? And David Njoku was open over the middle last week too. Gabriel didn't see him. Can Gabriel see anything over that line? They're going to be getting the hands up a lot. Okay? What's everyone think too about Shedeur Sanders? QB2, right? One play away from old Shedeur. Interesting. It's the right move. What are you going to have, Bailey Zappi? People who question that. We saw Bailey Zappi last year, okay? My 11-year-old can throw a better spiral and distance than Bailey Zappi, and I'm only half exaggerating, okay? This guy, what do you want Bailey Zappi in there? We know what Bailey Zappi is, and it's not good. So you got QB2, Shedeur Sanders. Now I hope Dylan Gabriel turns into the best quarterback in Browns history, because that means the Browns win. But I got my doubts in Pittsburgh. They're playing Renegade at practice. They're trying to get all hyped up. They're ready. They're not. Okay. What are you going to do? My prediction for the Browns game. Grant, what are you thinking? Browns, Steelers. People in the chat, jump on as well. Get your fantasy football questions. We'll have hashtag Ask Andy coming up. Use hashtag Ask Andy on X at AndyMC81 at SickPodBrowns, Instagram at AndyMC Sports. I think the Browns will lose this game. Everything's pointing to that. However, when I was down versus the Green Bay game, they were supposed to lose across the board, and I thought the same thing. But it was the one game they played complementary football from special teams and defense, and the offense did enough. Browns 17-16 win as the clock hit 0. Andre Schmidt hits the field goal to take him from 14 to 17. Okay, I think we're back there. That was the old technical difficulty. We need, producer Shan, we need from The Simpsons where it has like the dog with the coordinates mouth. We'll be right back. Anyway, hopefully you guys heard that. Grant saying 17-13 Pittsburgh. I don't know if offensively we can score on this defense. Hey, man, look, makes sense. Everything you say makes sense. If, and it's a big if, we can get that co-complementary football. We got the one time upsetting the Green Bay Packers, you can win this game. You can win this ball game. But the offense, you have to run Judkins. You have to be creative, Stefanski. You're supposed to be an offensive guy. Open it up a bit. Don't play not to lose. The Steelers are going to wait for you to make a mistake. They're going to rope-a-dope you and wait. Don't give them that chance. The offensive line, of course, too. What are you going to be doing with the tackles, jumping off sides, all this stuff? You got to do a couple deeper throws to force them to back up a bit, give Quinshon some room, and then run the heck out of them. I think 17-16 Browns. 17-16 Browns. Schmidt saves the day. Hero again, and I'll probably have a heart attack if it comes down to that. But there's a way. All the other stats we know. Oh, for this and that, except for Baker beating him in the playoffs. All right. I say 17-16. Get your prediction in there. Grant saying Pittsburgh 17-13. You're probably going to be right, Grant. But I'm calling today the Pittsburgh Miracle. Let's go. Get it done. Our Cleveland buddies Kelly and Donnie in Pittsburgh in enemy territory. Going down. No squealers. What paper tigers? You're not doing squat, Pittsburgh. Anyway, hopefully the Browns can put a kink in their plan, go to 2-4, and still make this an interesting season. Still coming up. Fantasy football, ultimate betting ticket in the parlay party. And we're going to kick it off by bringing in my guy from 97.3 ESPN Radio, host of Hang with Hennig on Saturdays and throughout the week on ESPN Radio. Josh Hennig, coming up, baby. How's it going, Josh?
Well, I do my technical difficulties as well, but we're here. We are alive with the Sick Podcast.
That's right, buddy. We are live. You got your Flyers hat on. You got your 97.3. Too bad about the Phillies.
Yeah, well, I'm wearing it in dispute because that goaltender interference last night should have never been called, and the Flyers could have had the first Philadelphia sports win in over a week, and instead they stole it from us to the guys who skid around the black and white stripes.
Ah, rats. Well, you know what? I'll say this too. I forgot to bring this up in the opening segment. You brought, when I was on your show, Hanging with Hennig, I said I was excited yesterday, and I recorded and I skipped through, I watched every snap of the Oregon Indiana game. Dante Moore versus Fernando Mendoza. And Josh, I got to say, I'm getting my draft day sticky note, and I'm writing down Mendoza no matter what. This guy's the real deal. He was fantastic read, fantastic mobility, can do the bootleg, can run through you, can run around you, threw a pick six, unfazed, came back through a touchdown. This guy's the real deal in my mind. What do you think of those two? Dante Moore, who I thought looked, I still don't hate him, but looked a little frazzled and less impressive than in previous weeks. I think Mendoza's the real deal.
Well, on my Football Friday show, which you can watch on my YouTube channel at Josh Hennig every Friday night, I picked Indiana to cover that spread that was 7.5. And it was because of the coach Signetti. That guy, the coaching job he has done at Indiana. I mean, let's be real. When was the last time you thought of Indiana as a consistent contender? Never, right?
Never.
I mean, back in the day, you think of like Antoine Randall L. is probably like the best player you can think off the top of your head coming out of Indiana.
Oh wow!
And now you got this kid in Mendoza. I mean, Mendoza is a fascinating prospect because of the fact that he is a guy who looks just calm and composed in the moment.
Yeah. Doesn't get flustered. Threw the pick six. Unfazed. Came back. His read, the placement of the ball. This is what I look for, Judge. I thought Moore, it was thrown off his back foot a bunch. Looked a little unsteady. Not that Mendoza's mechanics were perfect, but I found a guy sure of himself. Knew where he was going. Placement, depth, mobility, ran the bootleg. Kevin Stefanski likes that. And plus, 6'5", 225. Josh, they've tried 6 foot skinny guys, DTR. They've tried 5'9" Hawaiians. They've tried Nepo babies in the 5th round. Can I get a 6'5" dude and just give it a chance? How about we try that? You would think it's going to be, you were on the show, Tommy Castellanos, right? That's going to be my guy. 5'11", Florida State.
5'10".
Oh, my God. Yeah, if he's 5'11", you know he's 5'10", at least. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's 5 feet tall. And he's but Fernando, clean cut guys ready to go. 6'5", 225. And I'm just like, oh, no, I'm too excited. I'm going to have it on my note. I'm going to be brokenhearted again. And we'll see. Anyway, that's college football. Let's get to some fantasy football because, Josh, I'm looking at the Schefter stuff. Have you heard anything on Deebo Samuel? Because I got him in one of my lineups. He looks like he's going to be a game time decision, which I don't like.
The last thing I saw, he's a game time decision. There's a few guys who are game time decisions this week. And if you're a fantasy football player or you're somebody who's throwing a couple of shekels on a game here and there, it's kind of getting to the point where it's like for example, I got a league with Dalton Kincaid. Well, he plays Monday night. He was in the non-contact jersey on Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you just bite the bullet and say, I'm going to put somebody else in my lineup at tight end? Or do you just wait it out and hope for the best, right? I think it's the same thing with Deebo. Like, how long can you wait on Deebo until you have to make that decision?
Oh, boy. And it's a big decision because when he's in, he's spectacular. Some notes from Adam Schefter of ESPN for fantasy notes. Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase expected to play versus the Packers. Ravens, Zay Flowers expected to play versus the Rams. I'm not excited to play any Ravens with Cooper Rush back there. 49ers, Juwan Jennings expected to play. Quarterback Mac Jones of the 49ers expected to play. Quarterback Kyle Murray not expected to play versus the Colts, which is a big downgrade. So those are some. Here's the thing. Former Browns QB, of course, Josh, Joe Flacco back there. I'm worried about that offensive line, but Josh, if they can find some way to give him time, his arm is still there. Yeah, I think it's a big fantasy boost having him in there over Browning.
I think it's a boost, but I'm not sure how much of a boost because you had mentioned on my show yesterday on 97.3 ESPN that the Bengals offensive line is worse than the Browns. It's like it's almost like elder abuse to put a 40-year-old man back there playing quarterback. Be like, hey, we've got you better weapons, but your offensive line is worse. It's like it's such a strange dynamic.
It's fascinating to see. For the Browns today, if you're not named Quinshon Judkins, actually I got the Browns DST in today because I think they can do the same formula, Josh. Keep it close. The question is, a team that hasn't been able to hit 20 points since November, that's where it starts to fall apart. But it's Quinshon Judkins in the defense, because I think Myles Garrett, he is amped up, and that D line, they can hold Aaron Rodgers down. I think you can make some noise on defense with the Browns fantasy wise.
I think the biggest problem for the Browns today is going to be, because the defense, you're right, they show up. Is Dylan Gabriel, is he going to succumb to the pressure? When if for example, I heard you mention this earlier in the pod before I had my technical problems on my end, which is the Renegade. When they play that in the fourth quarter, is that going to be a tie game or not? Because if it's going to be a tie game, I don't know about you, but Dylan Gabriel might need to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like,
just they were playing Renegade in practice this week to get them used to it.
Not the same.
Not the same.
It's not the song.
No.
Because if you don't, so if anyone's ever been to a Steelers game when it's fourth quarter Renegade, here's what makes it relevant. The whole stadium shakes because people start jumping all at the same time. So you got 60, 70,000 people jumping in the stands, screaming. And everything I have been told by guys who play in the league, they say it's a little unnerving. It's not the music. It's the fact that the ground is shaking under you. And I was saying on my show recently, if you're making a list of the 5 best home field advantages, the Steelers have to be in consideration, because if you're in the fourth quarter and the ground is shaking under you, can you imagine being a player being like, what am I doing here? Yes,
especially first time there. Right? Like the Browns have had. The only other 2 rookies who have played in Pittsburgh, Colt McCoy, 2010 loss, and Deshaun Kaiser, the other Deshaun, in 2017. Woo, boy.
Notre Dame quarterback.
Not great. Not great. You know what? We got a few fantasy questions. Let's hit it up with hashtag Ask Andy. All right, let's bring up first, producer Shane, the Instagram one, from Patrick on, there we go. To your tight end question here, Josh, where you mentioned Dalton Kincaid. Patrick says on Instagram at AndyMC Sports, do I pick up AJ Barner? I already got Laporta and Kyle Pitts. Now, we might look, Josh, at Kyle Pitts from last week. Ooh, Atlanta got back on track. Big game. Josh, to me, that Atlanta win and Kyle Pitts's and the offense's production is as much to do with being shellacked and humiliated the week before by being shut out by Carolina. So I'm not buying the Falcons and Kyle Pitts, who we've been waiting on for 5 years. And Laporta, Josh, I just don't. We love the name, but he's just not getting a bigger enough piece of that offense.
Laporta has been disappointing. He is probably the biggest boomer bust tight end in fantasy right now, because he'll have one game where he has 18 points, and the next he has 6. It's just you can't really depend on him. And the problem you mentioned with Pitts is he's in an offense where you can't depend on the offense.
No.
So you have 2 guys who you're like, hey, it's great if they're actually getting him the ball, but you can't depend on that.
Will they?
So your guess is as good as mine, because there's 2 problems there also. Goff's the better quarterback than Penix. So you go with Laporta just because he's the better quarterback. But then, okay, AJ Barner, are we really sure he's going to do anything? Come on,
I'm in
man.
on him this week, man. I'm in on him.
God bless your heart.
Listen, there's not a lot of options. And the tight end depth chart, Josh, when you're on waivers, it is not just shallow. It's like barely like there's barely a puddle of anything to dig into. AJ Barner, I like for these two reasons. 2 weeks in a row, double-digit fantasy points. If you're hitting double digits as a tight end, you got my ears perked up. I don't care if it's 10, which he also hit in week 2. 2 weeks ago against Arizona, 3 catches, 3 targets, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Now, I know, we're thinking, ooh, touchdown dependent. Yes. The next week, which was last week against Tampa Bay, where they had to throw the ball more, 7 targets, 7 catches, 2 touchdowns for 53. Josh, this guy had the week before, he's only not caught 2 passes thrown to him all year. So sure hands, we love that for PPR. They're getting him the ball 3 touchdowns over the last 2 weeks. And Jacksonville, how they popped up, could be a nice surprise little ball game where you're going to have to air it out. And I think A.J. Barner, where he's connected with Sam Darnold, why not? Like, things are lining up that could work out.
Well, you might have just sold me on checking my waiver wire after we're done this segment. So.
Right? Like, all I'm saying is there's once you get off of like the Trey McBride, like Brock Bowers banged up again, like, what are you going to do? Who are you reaching for? Brenton Strange, who we talked about last week with Jacksonville, he's hurt. So where else are you going? Right? Like, I think at least we have whatever I look for when it comes to betting or fantasy, Josh, is if I can present a clear path to success that is reasonable, that is back-checked as to we've seen it, then if it doesn't work out, I can live with it. Because it's like, it made sense. Right. It wasn't just like picking something out of thin air. So we'll see that. Let's get to the another hashtag Ask Andy question there. Shane, pop it up. It's coming from our buddy Michael Pagano 71 on X. Need your take on Kamani Vidal or Hassan Haskins? Oh boy, Josh. Who will end up being the correct fantasy pickup over the next 4 weeks? And then also, hashtag dog pound question for you. Would you feel comfortable dropping Dylan Sampson in your dynasty league? Hashtag Ask Andy. Let's get to the Vidal Haskins questions, of course. Omar in Hampton, Josh, who I am heavily invested in. 3 leagues. He's on the IR. I was able to grab Haskins. Again, we're following that path of what makes the most sense. Now, could Vidal, who's being called from the practice squad, go nuts today? Sure. But I'm going to say the guy on the active roster, who I think has the better athletic upside right now, is Haskins, because he's there. He is ahead of him in the depth chart, and I think there's a path. But, Josh, this could turn into, of course, a complete committee or just somebody vultures a touchdown from somebody else and it'd be weird.
My answer to this is just say no to timeshares. Like it's just I have no patience, no time for these teams in fantasy football wise. I have no patience. Yeah. Now, if you got 2 good running backs, it's great for your real world team, but it's horrible for your fantasy team. And the good thing with Hampton is he was a down in and down out back. He was not splitting the carries 50-50. Like you're talking about the Steelers and the Browns today. Kenny Gainwell is technically in a timeshare, but every week he's projected for a high fantasy football total, which is kind of fugazi, right? Mm-hmm. It's like very deceptive. It's very manipulative. So if you're a fantasy football owner, like you're sitting there being like, do I start Kenny Gainwell and get 6 points, but even though I'm being promised 12 points? Like, and the problem with Haskins and Vidal is I've seen in some fantasy leagues, like these guys are projected like 10 points. And I'm like, are we sure?
Yeah. But you might not have a choice. Like for me, I have Amari in Hampton, and you're not replacing that guy, right? You're not replacing him. So like, what do you do? I think Haskins, but let's not forget, you have Nyheim Hines, who is now going by Nyheim Miller Hines with a hyphen. The heck did that happen? That's bizarre.
Last year. It happened last year. It's actually a long story.
Oh, all right. Well, he was on the Browns and never played. So that's to you, Miller Hines, or whatever you want to call yourself. I don't care. But this is a perfect scenario, Josh, where we're talking about Haskins and Vidal. Could you not see like a 2-tutty Miller Hines day, and we're all just furious right off the practice squad, off the street? Oh, this is why it's so.
I feel like advertising opportunity right there with that name.
Yes, beer and ketchup.
Right?
It's right there.
The perfect cookout.
Yeah. Have a Miller Hines today on your fantasy team, folks. Let's see how that plays out. Yeah, I think that's such a tough ask. And then the other question was Dylan Sampson on the Browns for Dynasty. And this is tricky, Josh, because week 1, Dylan Sampson was used, I think, perfectly for the type of back he is. Small back, scat back, more of an extended run game. Pop it to him in space. It was the first time I've seen in years the hitch screen work. The one where they just turn quickly, throw to the side. 10 out of 10 times usually the Browns lose 2 yards on that. Sampson gained yards. But then after that, Josh, they started running a 5'9" undersized guy up the middle. Why? It's insane. So I wouldn't give up on him yet because Jerome Ford's not going to be back next year and Sampson is a draft pick and I think they're still – but I wouldn't be rushing to play a guy like that right now based on the uncreativeness of Kevin Stefanski's offense. It's no good.
Listen, if you're at a point in your life where you're deciding if you're going to keep Dylan Sampson on your Dynasty League team, I think you got larger problems, my friend.
That's right. Yeah, then you're tinkering, right? You're just tinkering with stuff there. Yeah. I'm just seeing if there's any other. The Deebo Samuel one. We're gonna have to watch Terry McLaurin out again. I think this is a big Zach Ertz day. Whether Deebo Samuel plays or not, because he might not be 100%. There's no receivers. Look at the depth chart, Josh. We looked at it yesterday on your show. There's nobody. Who are you throwing to? It's going to be a cross-team area.
McCaffrey.
That's right. Maybe Luke. I was thinking, you talk about projections. In one of my sleeper leagues I got him, I'm like, ooh, do I do it? And he's like being forecast to have like 1.2 fantasy points. I'm like, but I think that's deceiving as well. Like I don't think that's fair because he's gotten a little bit of opportunity, right? And where is he? Yeah,
by the way, can I just say?
Gosh.
Can I just say really quick? I think we found the team with the worst offensive line in the Bengals and the Browns.
Yes.
The Jets right now. I mean, I'm watching the Broncos Jets game and like Justin Fields didn't have like a second to breathe. Like it was just so bad. Like literally he drops back the pass and he looks up and there's 2 pass rushers on him. And it's just like the look on his face. He's like, just come on, man. Like,
can I get a second? Can I get a moment? Now, Broncos up, I believe, 10-6 now, right? In the second. I need some Cortland Sutton magic here, man.
I need J.K. Dobbins to do something.
Well, not a good sign where I'm looking and says Bo Nix is the leading rusher so far at 17 yards, Josh. I also need J.K. Dobbins. Please. Let's get cooking on that. Okay. We'll keep you up to date on any other injuries that are popping up. Josh, let's build a little NFL betting ticket there. Then we'll let you get on with your Sunday, brother. Let's do the parlay party. I'm pulling up my DraftKings Sportsbook app. Ready to go here. Okay. We'll see if we can build it, see what we got. I have to say if I'm fit to play again, Josh. Hold on. Do you think I'm fit to play? Probably not, but we'll do it. Like I said, has anyone ever clicked no? Like, thank you. Sportsbook, I am not. They probably be like, what? That button probably doesn't even work. It's probably just like a screenshot. There's no purpose to it. All right. Browns, Steelers. Steelers by 5.5. I think at -102, Browns cover that. I don't want the money line. What do you think? I think they can cover that.
Honestly, I don't like the Steelers-Browns game today for betting purposes. I think this is a game that's got too many variables. You know,
right.
The Browns defense is good in reality. The Steelers defense is good on paper. The Browns got a midget at quarterback. The Steelers got an old man at quarterback. It's just too many weird things in this game for me.
You know what? Maybe we'll do a standalone, but not on the ultimate betting ticket. I don't want to risk it on that game. I'm with you. Chargers, Dolphins. Now, Chargers only 3.5-point favorites on the road. I think there's some money to be made there. I think the Chargers would be looking to bounce back in Miami. Like, are we scared of Miami, Josh? Chargers 3.5? I kind of like that.
I'm not scared, but I think both defenses could be had here. This might be one of those over games.
Over, it's at 44.5. Maybe we'll put the Chargers money line. We're going to be building one, so we'll do -200. Patriots and Saints. Now, this one, not that the Saints are any good. It's at home. But, Josh, young quarterback, young team, like, I kind of have a bit of a fear of coming back down. You have that huge win, you know, like, but I can't bet on the Saints either.
No, you can't bet on the Saints. This might be one of those games where if like you're one of those like people who's willing to take like a deep cut, take like, you know, over Patriots team total or something like that, or you know, maybe you look at, you know, what might be interesting, you know, are if you're willing to go in the prop market, you know, maybe Stephon Diggs over on the receiving yards.
Right. Over under 45.5. I could see that being under. I could see this being a bit of a slug.
Yeah, I can see this being like, you know, what's number 3.5? You said
3.5 Patriots road favorites and over under.
I can see. I mean, I see the Patriots winning like 23-20 and like destroying everyone's bet tickets.
Just destroying it. I'll pick the Patriots to win straight up. We'll take the Heat. Seahawks at Jags. I think Seahawks absolute smash. Jaguars are going to be so up on themselves for beating the Chiefs. Seahawks on the road. I think Seahawks take it. 1.5 only.
I think the Seahawks take it, but I do think it'll be a close game though, because that trip from Seattle to Jacksonville is pretty darn long.
Yeah. Now where are you at with this? So we got money line Seahawks -112. Seahawks 1.5 point favorite, but -102 to cover 1.5. Which if you're going to win,
right?
You know, I know there's 1 point games, but like, you know, do you take some juice on that?
Well, the odds makers are telling you right there that even though the Seahawks are a favorite, they're not a strong favorite.
Yes.
So you got to pay attention to those numbers and see what the number under the number is. And the odds maker will kind of give you an idea what they think of the game, their confidence level in the number. And so if it's a situation where the odds makers themselves aren't confident in the odds they're giving you, right? Then that kind of gives you an idea of what they think of the game in general.
Right. So where are you going with that one? Do you want straight Seahawks money line? You want to take the points? Or straight?
I mean, that's a game where I'm assuming Seattle is going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville did.
I'm going to take Seahawks. Seahawks money line, that 1.5. Cardinals, Colts, no Kyler Murray. Colts by 9.5 seems a bit aggressive, but I don't think the Colts lose this at home without Kyler Murray there.
Ride with Indiana Jones, baby. The Cardinals defense does not have a great pass rush. They do not have enough to stop the Colts. Remember, there's really only one game this year that Daniel Jones has been slowed down, which is hilarious to say, but it is true. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about a team, and guess what? It's not even about Indiana Jones. It's about Jonathan Taylor, Andy. Taylor's having a sneaky MVP caliber year right now.
Great fantasy pickup too, right? From where you probably got him. It's Jacoby Brissett, former Browns quarterback Jacoby Brissett. He can't put up points. Do we want to take the points? -105, Colts to cover 9.5, which is scary, or straight up money line -460, over under set at 46.5. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be able to score points today.
By the way, Jonathan Taylor, he went to high school about 30 minutes from where I'm sitting at my house right now.
Really?
Yep.
All right. So what do we want?
Salem High School, South Jersey.
You want Colts 9.5 or Colts money line?
I mean, Colts money line is probably safer just because, of the off chance that Jacoby Brissett decides to, call back to the, years past.
Right, his old Patriot days. Rams, Ravens, Ravens, boy. Rams.
This is easy.
Rams, 7-point favorites. Do they win by more than 7 on the road?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's take it. -105. Okay, a couple more. Cowboys,
Andy,
Panthers. Hey?
I was just going to say, it's like the scene from Rocky IV. If he dies, he dies. That's going to be the Rams today with the Ravens.
Just destroy Baltimore, please. Put a smile on my face. Cowboys, Panthers. Those rascally Panthers. Cowboys, 3-point road favorites. That's -105 for the Cowboys to cover the 3, -158 money line. Cowboys should win. You're the NFC East guy. What do you think?
I think points. You're going to see a lot of points in this game. I don't know if you saw, but Rico Dowdle has been talking trash this week Apparently, he's mad the Cowboys cut him after last year. And now the Cowboys put Myles Garrett on injured reserve. They're down a running back. And apparently, the Panthers – listen, the Panthers are a weird team.
Yeah.
They can score points.
Falcons,
I just think that this is going to be a high-scoring game. So
over under 47.5. So do we want Cowboys just to straight up win or win by more than 3?
that's hard because I got to be honest. I just see a scenario the Cowboys lose this game, to be honest. It's on the road.
That's it, right? And if you're giving – boy, that's tough. I'm going to say Cowboys money line. I still think they do it. Oh, prison inmate game, Josh. Titans versus Raiders in Las Vegas. Fantasy-wise, poison. Ashton Giante and probably Tony Pollard, and that's it. That's the fun we're having in that game. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't even know if I want to bet this one. Like the Titans, do they get a win? Raiders,
no.
Yeah. Tampa Bay, we'll finish two more. Then we'll get you out of here. 2 more. 49ers, of course, everyone's injured. At Tampa Bay, my guy Baker Mayfield. Bucks favored by 3.5, minus 174 money line. I kind of just like the Bucks straight up here, man. Baker's cooking.
If it's in Tampa, you go with the Bucks 9 times out of 10, just because of who they are, who their quarterback is. I know they got injuries, but you know what? The 49ers got injuries too, man. And Mac Jones, he is not healthy coming into this game.
No, he is not. He was banged up. Now, remember, too, for your fantasy team, Bucky Irving, out. Mike Evans, out. Chris Godwin Jr., out. So you're starting Rachaad White and Mika Egbuka, who's on a historic pace as a rookie. And I think we talked tight ends earlier. If you're desperate, A.J. Barner's gone, and you're dumpster diving, maybe put aside the banana peel and pick up some Cade Otton. Popped last year, nothing this year. I'm just saying that options for Baker right now are Egbuka, Sterling Shepard, Ryan Miller, Tez Johnson. Not great. So I
did pick up Sterling Shepard in a couple of my fantasy leagues because I do think that he is going to be the bona fide 2 receiver.
He could. And we'll do we'll do Bengals, Packers, Lions, Chiefs, and that's it. Bengals at Packers. Joe Flacco's in. Packers heavy favorites. Joe Flacco could be the first player in Super Bowl era history to play for 2 different teams and beat the same team. He beat them when I was down there in Cleveland against the Green Bay Packers with the Browns. Has a chance to do it this time in Green Bay. Boy, Packers are favored by 14.5, minus 1150. Josh, I don't think there's any value in this game unless you think the Bengals straight up.
By the way, Joe Flacco, he went to high school 45 minutes from where I'm sitting, Audubon High School here in South Jersey.
Right, yeah, right in the Delaware area, right? Wow. Okay, we love Joe, but man, do you want to bet on this game, Josh, or leave it? 14.5.
No, I don't want to touch this game with a 10.
No, it all seems too high. Lions, Chiefs. Chiefs 2.5 point.
I have a strong feel on this one.
What do you think?
I feel very strongly about this one.
Okay, what do you like?
Chiefs all the way. Home game. I think they are going to take out on the Lions their loss to the Jags last week. I think this is going to be Mahomes, Chris Jones. Chris Jones answered all the critics of him not wanting to go after Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be like, all right, y'all are questioning me. Here comes Jared Goff with a remember, no Frank Ragnow for the Lions. It's hurt them in a couple games this year, and I think it'll be very bad in this game. I think Chris Jones is coming for vengeance, and I think that the Chiefs are going to win this game.
Boy. Well, it's doing the Chiefs lose this, Josh. They're 2-4.
Right.
They have to win this game. Right? Okay. And then the Sunday nighter, Bills, Falcons, Bills straight up, right? We're not messing around here.
Oh, yeah. The Bills are going to win this game hell or high water.
And then there's the Monday night. Might as well finish it off. Bears, Commanders. That's the Monday night, right? Yeah.
2 Monday nights.
Two Monday nights. Oh, my gosh. These 2 Monday nights are crazy. Bills, Falcons, Bears, Commanders. Washington 4.5-point favorites. We know all the injuries. I could kind of see the Bears winning this one. I don't know if I want to put money on it.
I like the points in this game. I think it will be much high scoring than last year's game.
Like take the over?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll pop the over 49.5 for both teams. 49.5. 10-leg parlay, Josh, plus 15,860. We put $5 on it, win $793.03. That's a nice little Sunday, Monday combo, huh? Start the week off. You dig it?
Right.
Let's do it. Okay. We'll pop that. Plus 15,860, 10-leg parlay. That's a parlay party ultimate betting ticket if I've ever heard one. Josh, tell people where they can find you, see you all week. You do such great work, my friend.
I appreciate it. So 973 ESPN. I'm the daily producer Monday through Friday. I host Hanging with Hennig Saturdays, 12 to 3 p.m. You also catch me on all of my social media at Josh Hennig on YouTube and X. And of course, you can check me out on Instagram, Joshua S. Hennig. But the main stuff is on the YouTube and the X platforms.
Awesome, buddy. Appreciate you as always. Let's hope the Eagles can get back on track after that one from earlier this week. We'll talk soon.
Well, considering there's a nor'easter coming through the area, I'm sure everyone's glad the Eagles are not playing today.
Yeah, that's right. All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Talk to you. See ya. All right, there he goes. Josh Hennig from 97.3 ESPN. Trying to place my bet. Said something went wrong. What went wrong now? I'm gonna get my ultimate betting ticket in here. Come on. All right, there we go. Now we got it. We got Griff in the house. Griff in the chat. Cowboys -3. So you're saying Cowboys to cover, Griff? Okay. Let's where are we at here? Cowboys, Panthers. I got Cowboys 2.5. Depends on the sport. Let's see here. Did that just change? That might have just changed. Let's see. I had it's updating. No, still -3 on DraftKings. ESPN is -2.5. So I guess it depends on the sports book we're doing here. But that Cowboys Panthers, like Cowboys should, but Panthers are weird. I think I'm getting a little stuck on them shutting out the Falcons, and the Falcons aren't good. Cowboys aren't that good either, though, right? If we're being fair, they're not that good. All right, we're going to wrap up with some betting fantasy football, Browns talk in just a moment. But, folks, you got to know that it's game on, baby. Week 6, it's now. It's here. Every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first touchdown fireworks. Anytime TD rushes and live bets that ride every momentum shift at DraftKings. Every play is your next shot to win. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SICKSPORTS. That's code SICKSPORTS to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
There you go. I'm getting updates here. Quentin Johnson for the Chargers. Hamstring listed as questionable. Considered to be a game time decision. If he's out, that's a big opportunity. Now, let me check the health of Ladd McConkey, who's gotten absolutely skewered by Keenan Allen coming back. And I got Keenan Allen on one of my teams, so I don't hate it fully. But boy, Ladd McConkey, what a dip. Ladd McConkey's healthy. Johnston, game time decision, Keenan Allen. So if Johnston's out, Ladd McConkey, fantasy status up. I'm going with Haskins over Vidal. Again, I'm rolling the dice here. I think the path is Haskins on the roster, not called up, gets first touch, see what you can do. Probably going to be a split. But McConkey and Allen stock up, especially if Johnston is out. Let's see. Yeah, Jamar Chase will play. Going with Flacco. Flowers will play. Kyle Murray, you got Jacoby Brissett. Ooh. And it's for Kyler Murray, mid-foot sprain, a version of Liz Frank injury. Possibility Murray is out more than this week, as pushing it can cause aggravation. So that's not great. Jacoby Brissett, game manager, we know it, right? It brings down the value of a Trey McBride, but he can distribute the ball. Brissett, as we saw in Cleveland, won't necessarily lose you a game, but he also can't win you a game, right? We got Wacky Wookley in the chat. Browns get 11 sacks and force Aaron Rodgers to retire tomorrow. There you go. That's a Pittsburgh miracle, baby. Wacky Wookie. Love it. Let's go. Browns 11 sacks. Call your shot. Take the over in the sacks on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Total team sacks. Force Aaron Rodgers to retire, just like they forced Ben Roethlisberger to retire with that gif, that picture. Right on there, the tear coming down, and poor Ben Roethlisberger crying his way as the Browns beat his ass out of the playoff. It's going to take some sort of miracle for 5'9" Dylan Gabriel to go into Pittsburgh and win this game. A place in the regular season, as we know, the Browns haven't won since Tim Couch in 2003, blah, blah, blah. People forget to mention that Baker beat his ass in 2020. Let's do it again. But the key has to be, you need all three aspects of this team to work, and it's only happened one time. And I can argue just two of them worked. When I was down there in Cleveland against the Green Bay Packers, when the special teams blocked a field goal, hit some big kicks, didn't allow big returns, and the defense showed up and showed out. You get that today, you can hold Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers down. Don't hurt yourself. Pittsburgh will rope-a-dope you. They are disciplined. Browns are not. Browns beat themselves how many times, right? No false starts on the offensive line. No holdings. Don't fall for Aaron Rodgers' hard count. Looking at you, Miles. Outplayed TJ Watt. But ultimately, I don't care if it's Miles or they're doubling him and it's Mason Graham or Malik Collins, Alex, whatever. Just do it. Figure out a way. My prediction for the score, 17-16 Browns. Browns down, last-second field goal by Andre Schmidt to get it done, and he goes hero mode again. And the Browns shock the world, and we'll call it, we've coined it here, the Pittsburgh miracle is happening today. I can feel it, but it's going to take the Browns not beating themselves, which is a big if. And Kevin Stefanski, I just please open up the playbook a bit. Like, can we get, you're an offensive guy. Can we get a little creativity, please? Don't run Dylan Sampson up the middle. Work Judkins, but you got to game plan hits where you can take a shot for Isaiah Bond downfield. Have Njoku, which Gabriel missed last week, over the middle. And structure, I know you don't want turnovers, and I don't either. But you got to take those shots so that the defense has to go back a little bit, and it gives Judkins more room. Otherwise, they're just going to crowd the line. That's it. You have Gabriel running for his life. Okay? 17-16 Browns. Can Stefanski get off his butt and call the game? We know he can. Can he get out of his own way? I don't know. But if they do, if special teams doesn't screw up and the defense does what it does, Browns can win this ball game. I think 17-16. Make sure you're clicking subscribe, notifications onto the channel. We'll be back Tuesday with our Under the Wire, Waiver Wire fantasy football pickups. Doghouse Dog Bones Awards as well coming out of this game. Hopefully a Victory Tuesday celebration show. Make sure to follow on X. You can still get your fantasy football questions in too. And let me know your Browns score prediction. At SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81. That's on X. Instagram and TikTok at AndyMC Sports. I'll have my instant game reaction as soon as this one's done. Hopefully a celebratory one finally. and we'll take it there. So, for Josh Hennig of ESPN Radio, for producer Shane, I'm Andy McNamara. To all of you in the chat, let's go beat those squealers. Go Browns!
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.